I am a heritage boot reviewer, and Bootlosophy is a heritage boot reviewing channel. So you would have to guess that I like all of my accessories as heritage type accessories, leather rather than nylon. So you would have to guess that I like a leather briefcase. G'day, welcome back to Bootlosophy, and if we haven't met yet, my name is Take. Kalikul Wajak Nungabuja. Now, Bootlosophy is a heritage boot review channel, and I normally review heritage boots, all the way from White's MPs and Nick's boots, all the way to Thursday Captains and everything in between. So you'd have to guess that I like leather goods. they really trigger something off in me. So this is a leather briefcase, it's called, from a UK company called Kovered, spelled with a K, K-O-V-E-R-E-D. And I'll put a link to the website down below. There is no affiliate link through that website. This was something that I really wanted and I got recently. I have two of their holdalls or duffel bags already in my collection in wax canvas. And I wanted to have a look at their reclaimed leather bags. So I chose this one called the Longford. Interesting thing about Kovered is that their bags are called after river systems in the UK. And I hadn't heard of the Longford River before, but clearly there is one. So let me go through Kovered. Just checking with my notes, it was founded in 2013 in Bath in the UK. That's sort of down in the southwesty kind of area. It was founded by a collective of engineers, designers, and environmentalists. So an interesting mix of people who design, people who know how to make things, and then people who care about the environment coming together to make heritage goods. Their bags tend to combine natural materials with old world design in being put together in that heritage kind of, this could be way back in the 1950s kind of way. As a company, they believe in making as little impact in the environment as possible. They do, however, make their bags in China and in Vietnam, depending on what bags they are. But they are designed in the UK, and then they're hand-finished back in the UK once the general construction's been done. In this case, they used reclaimed leathers. Now, let me read from their website what are reclaimed leathers. They say that reclaimed leathers come from a variety of sources, such as unused vintage furniture hides, so hides that have been bought for furniture making but didn't get done, offcuts from larger leather productions or old garments. And when I asked them, they also had things like discarded leather for car seats, that sort of thing, wherever they can grab leather. What that means is, I think, from time to time, the look of the leather in one model might differ batch to batch. But I don't mind that, as long as really the whole, all the pieces that make the whole are of one source. The bags themselves are, as I said, designed in the UK and they're hand finished in the UK. And by that, I mean, I think they're already stitched and handled, but they're buffed down, they're polished, and things are cleaned up before they are put on for sale. So before we continue, can I remind you, if you're liking this, and particularly if you like boot review videos, click on the like button and click on subscribe. It'll help me out. Okay, so let's go through the Longford reclaimed leather briefcase. So firstly, let's look at the exterior of the bag, and I'll take you through the features on the outside. Know that this is a bag that comes with a 13-litre capacity, easily take a large laptop. It has a 1-year warranty, and the leather is advertised as water resistant. So if we go through the features, you have a shoulder strap that has a pad that's made of leather on both sides, but the strap itself has leather on one side and a canvas cloth on the other. I suppose that saves a little bit, and maybe if there is insufficient of this reclaimed leather, you save a little bit doing it that way. For the rest of the bag, you have a handle that's securely stitched and then riveted on to the body of the bag. One thing you should note if you don't like this sort of thing, it's full of logos. There's the Kovered logo. The logo is also on the brass rivets everywhere, and almost every brass rivet. It's on the ID tag. You know, you almost can't get away from it. I don't mind it. It's not like you're showing off a luxury good. You know, logos are logos. You like them or you don't like them. And I happen to like this design anyway. Maybe it's a little bit of overkill when every rivet and every tag has the logo. So back to the handle. It's got brass fittings everywhere, including the rivets. But the handle itself is leather, tubular. It's got this flap, which I like, because often when you don't have that, you're kind of trying to grab them to lift them. So having that maybe under your plane seat or in the overhead, it's easy to just grab and go. I do quite like that. On the outside, logo. On one side you have a side zip and it's full size, I guess for magazines and so on. You have a zip compartment here, and I'll show you when I open it, which is a full width. So that's for packing clothing, lots of files and so on. And then on the other side, you have another zip compartment, which is not as wide. It's not the full width of the bag. And the zip only comes down, oh, sorry, I've got it the wrong way around. This is the full size one. The zip goes down all the way and it opens flat. And then this one is the partial one where you can slip in files and so on. I'll show you what I've got inside. On the outside, they have a pass-through, so you can actually stick it onto your roller bag. Now, while this is called the briefcase, I want to note to you that I've been using it to go to work for a week, and I've especially packed it with stuff to show you in this review. I would not normally take as many things as this to work, but I might do if I travel. That's the thing. I think this is a travel briefcase rather than one you take to work every day. It's just a little bit too big for that. But as a weekend travel bag, as a 2-day business trip bag, this is ideal. And you can see what it's like when you take a look at the inside. The straps are held on with these, I think they're called parrot beak hooks, which seem strong. The spring is really strong, and it's certainly quite secure. All right, let's look inside, and I'll show you what I've put in as a sort of pretend packing to go to the office. So firstly, this side zip pocket, pair of glasses, reading glasses, is basically tartan lined and will fit a magazine and a couple of books for reading while you're on the plane or whatever. And then, oh, by the way, the zips are YKK, really nice to open and shut, and you know, really smooth operating. Then in the what I would call a files section, I've put in things like a packet full of hard drives, my laptop cord, my selfie stick, and my microphone. So this is sort of an example of what I might take away with me. But this is also a useful space for files and so on. And inside you find a card holder maybe for business cards. You find a couple of pockets for phones and notebooks, and a couple of pen holders. And then on the other side, this is where it lays flat, so I might just change the camera angle. So on this side, you have a zip configuration that allows you to open it flat out. And you can see this is almost like, you know, small suitcase size. And just to show you, I've got notebooks, writing pads, other notebooks, files, and my laptop, all fitting in easily, very easily. On the inside, again, that tartan lining, which I find really quite attractive, I think. This has nothing but lining. On this side, you have this pocket with snap buttons and roomy enough to put in, this is not padded, so I wouldn't put in a laptop here, but it's roomy enough to put in some other paperwork, maybe some magazines, potentially some dirty clothes, that sort of thing, to keep it separate from the rest. So very roomy indeed. I think this would be very useful for a 2 or 3 day trip, for a business trip or a weekend away, that you can travel with just one bag. It's solidly built. The leather, as you can see, is quite thick. It's more than 2 millimeters, not quite 3. And whichever leather source they reclaimed this from, this was pretty good leather. It has a very waxy feel, so I think this is going to patina very interestingly indeed. And I can't get to it because of the lining, but I think this will actually pull up. And over time, I think you'll find that, you know, as the grease of your hands and so on start getting into it, this will really look really nice and patinaed. The stitching is all very clean, very precise. When you first get it, some of the edges of these leather pieces, because they're not filled out properly, they kind of like flip over too much. So you kind of have to pull them until you train them to get into shape. But that's a very minor problem, isn't it? The fittings are very secure. I just don't see how you could break anything like this under normal use. So I would be very confident in taking these away, this away with me when I'm traveling. I also like the little details like these quarters. You see what I mean about the leather that you're not training? So you have to get in there and like push it out so that you're training it to be fitting out nicely. What I was saying is I like these little quarter pieces and strengthening pieces and reinforcements and so on. And this little patch of leather just to reinforce the difference between the two, the distance between the two zips. Everything seems well thought out, well designed, which I guess, you know, if these guys are made up of designers and engineers, you can see the talent in this. All right, let's keep going. So there you go. I hope you like this video. I hope that these sorts of things interest you. And if you keep watching my channel, if you're new here, you can also watch for lots of boot reviews. In terms of pricing, the Longford is priced at £215 sterling. That's roughly 400 odd Australian dollars. You know, for a leather bag of this size and quality, that's not bad. I mean, it's fair. I won't say it's cheap, but it's fair. So in terms of quality, obviously the constructions, as I showed you, is really quite good, and the design I think is very clever, and the use of reclaimed leathers I think is a interesting tip. So there you go. Hope you like this video. Don't forget to click on like if you did. Don't forget to subscribe if you like this sort of thing, and come back next week for a boot review. I'm going back to the roots of the channel, Bootlosophy. Until then, take care, and I'll see you again soon.